Hello? Can you guys hear me? Alright. Okay, so welcome once again. I hope you're still not sawa with my face, huh? Are you guys still okay? Have you eaten lunch already? No, may mga no. Why not? There's food outside. Just go ahead and eat lunch while we have this talk. So the topic for today is all about employee sentiments. And so the first question that I would like to ask the panel, by the way, hello Nina, Nono, and Elvin. Yeah, good morning. Maybe, share a brief statement about your HR philosophy and your organization as well.
Hi, good morning, HR community. My name is Nina Aribe. I support Pioneer Superior Brands, which is a shared services company. Not just here in Manila, I am also supporting HR in the US and across Asia as well. And I would say it's aligned to what Attorney mentioned earlier. Us in HR should not just be on the admin, and then of course the other speaker as well earlier mentioned that we should be business partners, right? We should be able to have that strategic thinking, and businesses, for you to be able to have that seat in the table, you need to talk about numbers, right? When we say numbers, it's all about data, the results, and how we can actually impact our organization and culture.
Wow, thank you, Nina. So we have an international HR on board here. Thank you. All right, Nono.
Hi, I'm Nono Noriega from PLDT Smart. So a lot of what's being discussed in the first two portions really resonate with the business that I find myself in. We are really evangelizing digital. But my passion probably would revolve around the H in HR, which seems to be lacking right now as we pursue this low-cost transformation initiative. So how do we humanize the organization in the thick of all these game changers, the need to pivot, and the tall order for HR will be how to enable the attainment of business goals. So we are seeing everywhere right now, we're not just a tactical support group, but we're inside the boardroom and we contribute in a lot of business shaping priorities. So looking forward to a fruitful panel discussion in a while. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nono. And Sir Elvin?
Good morning everyone. Unlike Patrick, Pilipino po tayo. Mukha lang po akong Koreano. Hindi rin po ako Koreano. I'm Elvin. You can call me Elvin. I'm not an HR practitioner unlike probably 99% of this room. I am the Executive Director of Philippine Business for Social Progress. We are the largest local non-government organization that most of you might not have heard about. When I say largest, I mean 3 to 4 billion pesos a year in program disbursements, in programs, in health, education, environment, and livelihood, powered by more than 800 competent professionals and pretty fun folks. Maybe just one question about the HR philosophy. My background, my professional background, this is my first time to work in a non-profit. Before that, my first job was in private for-profit work. I have also worked in government, in the national government. So I've done practically all types of sectors, at least, not all industries, but all major sectors. Government, academia, private for-profit, and now private non-profit. In this current business, in this current organization, I always tell my team, PBSP, we are in the business of uplifting the lives of the poor and the marginalized. Sila po ang aming bakit o why. And the business, my job as executive director, the job that our HR helps me fulfill is how do I take care of the very people who are in the business of nurturing and uplifting those who don't have the same resources, the same networks, the same access to wealth and comfort that you and I do. So I'll start off with that one, and I'm glad to be here.
All right, thank you, Sir Elvin. So, we have an international HR here. We have someone from the enterprise space, and we have someone for social work. So it's a pretty well represented panel of, it's very mixed. So I guess for my first question because we're dealing about addressing employee sentiment. So other than using, let's say, the open box and the suggestions, what other tools and technologies do you guys use or are planning on using that could track, monitor, and eventually uplift employee sentiment? Maybe we start off with Lina.
Thank you, Tony. So, sentiment box, right, or suggestion. I think our theme right now, which we have had in the past 5 years, is digitization. So there's already a lot of tools out there that you could use to roll out employee satisfaction surveys or wellness surveys, right? Attorney mentioned earlier it could be as frequent as monthly as or quarterly. So for us, we do it every quarter. And one of the things that I wanted to share, even though there's like a canned, set of questions for the tools that will be presented to you, there should be two things. First is we do best practices research. So you actually search what are the things that are important to the employees that you want to add as questions or statement surveys in your own employee satisfaction or employee well-being survey. And second is you customize it. You align with your executives, right? Your leaders, what's really the vision, your North Star, right? That was what Patrick mentioned for the company, and how you can enable or empower, the voice of your employees to do that. So mixing those two, what are the best practices, based on research, what's important to the employees, as well as customizing it. I think that's a good formula for you to be able to achieve and really be able to analyze the data that you're getting, because it's not just about collecting data, right? It's what you do with the information that you have. Are you first, after collecting, are you really getting a good analysis or a good sense from your employees, right? And the questions or the statements in the survey will actually lead you to that. And then after that, what do you do, right? How do you act on those feedback? How do you make overall your work environment better for them?
All right, that's very good feedback. So customized surveys would actually work for employees. What about you, Nono? What do you feel about this?
Would you believe that in PLDT Smart, we have our own FB workplace engine, a social media engine, where all employees, 10,000 from PLDT and 4,000 plus from Smart, were all friends. I was listening to Melissa Cadena, and she mentioned about these clubs. So we have the clubs here that they can enlist. And the experience is much too empowering. At first, we weren't ready for the flood of posts. And it was one chance for us to listen to the sounds of the forest. You would agree with me as HR practitioners na kung gusto natin pagandahin ang proseso, we have to dignify inputs from the ground level. Personally, I don't believe in planning sessions anymore where ang ini-invite lang top management, decision makers. You have to listen to inputs from the ground where rubber meets the road, who are the people at the thick of the real service encounters. That way, you dignify their inputs. That way, they feel ownership. And since it's the age of TikTok, it's the age of all these apps, in this FB workplace, in this own universe, or I like to call this ecosystem, you have, the pulse. So instead of going through the pricey surveys, sometimes you can just get the pulse by reading through the thread and then addressing them here and on. You can put out the fire easily. And one thing, it happens real time. But of course, it's an investment. It's a major investment. I'm not really sure if I can push you to replicate that many times over in your org. If not, come up with something similar. A platform using the digital means to just generate the pulse. And with that comes psychological safety. because that's what we struggled with. I hope I'm not preempting the next question or anywhere. So I'll contain my answer first with this, okay? We have a social media engine that's working wonders when it comes to clearing the air and keeping the communication channels open. Thank you.
Thank you, Nono. So social media. So now we have customized surveys and then social media, which is a very important factor. What about you, Elvin?
Maybe before I answer, can I have a quick show of hands? How many, raise your hands if you have worked full-time in either government, national, local, or a non-government organization. Anyone? Anyone was worked in government or non-government organization? Very few, no? Before I also took the plunge into the development sector, I interned for a top fast-moving consumer goods company. I worked for another telco that's not PLDT Smart. Yes.
Sorry.
But we are apparently the top paying sector. I'll get into that later.
Why are you afraid to name the company?
Well, because my share is MVP, so and he doesn't stop easily about it. No. Nag-night na ako ng MVP. No? But joking aside, the challenge for both government and non-government, we most of us, and actually most private enterprises also, pre-pandemic there were more than 1 million private enterprises in the Philippines. Micro, small, medium, and then large. The PLDT or even Pioneer Square brands. I think Sprout might also already count as a large enterprise. Out of that 1 million plus, almost 1.1 million, this is government BPI data. Only about 5,000 mahigit ay large. And then another 5,000 or so are medium, and then the rest are micro or small. But the micro accounts for 900 plus thousand. Of course, a lot of them have closed down because of the pandemic, because of the recession. But what I'm trying to say here is that the experiences that a lot of us fortunately have, or all of you have, with regard to HR policies, processes, tools, okay yan, that puts you in a very select and very privileged group. What a lot of us, government, non-government organizations are trying to do, we're trying to keep up with the trends. We're trying to stay relevant and responsive to what our talent and human capital demand, but without the war chest or the resources that all of you possess. So for example, for my first answer when I saw this question, sabi ko, I rely a lot on my Marites network. So ang PPSP, 800 plus kami, di ba? So meron kaming head office sa Mandaluyong, field offices sa Cebu at Davao. Pero more than 2/3 of my workforce are deployed all over the country. Literally, almost every province out of 82, malamang may isang taga-PPS dito. Malamang nasa provincial or municipal or city health office nila. Kasi tuberculosis ang pinakamalaking proyekto for the past few years. So, Marites Network, because there are key informants, to put it more academically, there are key informants, key influencers that can give you a pulse. But they say this very anecdotally. What we have been trying to do, and which has been accelerated by the pandemic, we were not ready to embrace it, but the pandemic forced our hand. No in-person working for more than 6 months. We had to rely on digital tools. And then last year, we took the launch with Sprout. So because of this plugging, I know I'll get 6 months free Pulse use, no? But we really tried to tap into digital tools in Sprout and in elsewhere. So that what we were able to do quite okay, I won't say effective, but quite okay in person, offline, we're able hopefully to enhance, amplify, complement with more digital and online tools. Let me just end by saying the profile of my staff now, our median age is around 30 to mid-30s. And my median time or duration with the organization is less than 5 years. So it's fairly young and it's a fairly small time with PPSP with the organization. So part of what we're trying to do, even though we're a 52-year-old organization so far, we don't have to be weighed down by the legacy or the baggage of yesteryears or yesterday. So I'm trying to grow, nurture this current team of mine so that we can be more effective in carrying out our work on our PNL.
Attorney, can I milk that further?
Sure.
Just for 1 minute. I promise I'll contain my thoughts in 1 minute, okay? What was forecast to happen in 2 years according to technology gurus, the digital transformation, unfolded before our very own eyes in 8 months because of the pandemic. So what happened? Natuto tayo mag-MS Teams, natuto tayo mag-Zoom, o mag-Confuse, mag-Mentimeter. And it was expedited learning. And it seems that France is telling us that it's not really rocket science. So don't disqualify anyone from this mindset. Digital is a lifestyle. In fact, don't tell you to age. Because there are digital lolos and lolas. You know what we call them? Millennials. Okay? The millennials can be very adept. So my point in saying this, okay? It's expedited learning for all of us, and now it's beginning to feel like second skin. Okay? It's fitting like a glove already. And I think it's gonna happen in the future. The pace is punishing, and we just have to be quick on the take. The numbers, as I said, should be telling us a story. So when you mine the data, okay? In fact, the challenge right now teaching leadership, I'll tell you, okay? I'll teach it next year. I have to undo what I taught last year. I have to undo. And sometimes what you have to teach is hard to undo, unsee, unfeel. Okay, I exceeded 1 minute. My apologies.
Attorney, I just want to add as well, because some of our HR practitioners here might think that I don't have the budget, like, all of the other companies, have presented, or your companies for digitization. There are free tools that you can start with, right? There are forms, right? MS, Google Forms, Sir Nono mentioned Mentimeter, those are free subscriptions as well. So you could actually start with that, right? You don't have to ask for your executive approval for a high cost budget. I think you have to start with whatever is available, and then from there you could prove to your leadership that this is really valuable. We're getting something real here, and because we're addressing them, we're improving talent retention, talent attraction, and after that, they will be very much willing to invest on tools.